Kid, I ain't gonna lie, you scare the shit out of me.
Welcome back, Walkers, to the Season 7, Episode 7 review of The Walking Dead. Sing me a song. Cue the music.
Are my sunshine,
Go on.
my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
So this is just another way of Negan showing his dominance over Carl and many other members of the group. He kind of opens people up to their vulnerabilities, and by making Carl vulnerable, it kind of gives Negan the power to control over pretty much, everybody. You can see that we have a lot of the Saviors kneeling, and that's kind of his whole kind of is to kind of get people or put himself in this kind of position of godly power. Now moving on to the next part of the episode, I want to talk about Michonne, Rosita and Carl again. So there was a point where the group was pretty much in sync with everybody, and they didn't really even have to speak to each other. They would know what's going on, they would know the deal, and they would just kind of act as one. It's kind of like a hive mind. But now Negan's in the picture. There's this kind of the broken group where everybody's kind of fighting for their own reasons, where you have Michonne, she's obviously fighting for Rick's freedom, maybe. We have Rosita, she's obviously on a bit of a vendetta, obviously because of Abraham. And then you've got Carl. Of course, Carl just wants to kill people because that's who he is. I mean, Carl's kind of actually taking over Rick's persona a bit more than Rick these days. So I'm actually really interested to see how this is going to move on in the series or in the ongoing future, because Rick is kind of seems to be taking a step back, and now I know there's a lot more communities. There's a bigger picture going on now, and I think Rick's not the only leader that's important anymore. And Carl seems to be kind of stepping up and maybe doing what needs to be done, maybe not in the best possible way. The only person who really seems to be thinking about the bigger picture right now, I think, is Eugene. And again, like we mentioned in my previous review, there's some slippery characters that can kind of go through unnoticed, and Eugene's one of those. I mean, he's seen as a wet flannel. He's seen as the pathetic liar, scumbag that will kind of do anything to survive. But then in this world, doing what you can to survive, I think, is a very smart move. And he's obviously thinking about producing, or getting some kind of factory set up to produce firearms and really kind of prepare for the fight. So he's thinking about, it doesn't matter if you kill Negan, there'll be another leader. Like you've seen before, there's always somebody who takes place. And he's thinking about eradicating the whole group as opposed to just Negan. I think that's just an interesting point to kind of hang on to, that Eugene, surprisingly, seems to be the most thoughtful character and the one who's kind of actually keeping his shit together, even though it doesn't look like it. Now moving on, we're going to go to the iron scene again, and this is quite an interesting one, because in the comics, Negan absolutely despises rape. He's completely against it, yet he goes to Mark, I believe his name was, and irons the shit out of his face for his wife cheating, which is kind of, he's very rich, because he's essentially, it's essentially rape, but what he's doing is he's kind of forcing people's hand into consent, so he kind of feels better about it himself. I mean, how many wives does he have? 7, 8, 9, 12, 32? I don't even know. And that's obviously what's happened with Dwight as well. We've seen Dwight's face. He obviously got the iron. And then after that, we kind of, right at the end of the episode, we have this note slipped under Daryl's Easy Street room. And what did it say? I can't quite remember what it said. I think it said "Go now." And it looked like there was a key and a match. So obviously the key is to unlock something. Match, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But there's I'm guessing there's going to be a trail of things that he can follow, or something that is going to allow him to escape. Then moving on to Alexandria, we have the scene with Olivia and Negan, the hot, almost sex scene, where he just wants to screw her brains out. And I'll tell you what, I was really surprised with that slap. I just didn't expect that at all. And obviously he goes for the grand tour, and finds Judith, of all people. and then they're kind of sitting out, kind of playing happy families. Negan seems to be taking over this fatherly aspect of Carl's life, as well as Judith as well. And that slightly worries me because I don't really know where that's going at the moment. But he's obviously waiting for Rick to return with supplies, and I'm guessing next episode being the mid-season finale that something's going to happen. Shit's going to go down, because I'm pretty sure Rick isn't going to be very pleased to see Negan holding his little daughter. And this final scene, I'm a bit worried as to where it's going, because in the graphic novels, we all know that Judith is supposed to be dead. And it begs the question, and I really, in some aspects, I hope it happens, but in a lot, I don't. I think that Rick could possibly lose his shit, and Negan could do something to Judith. Now, I'm going to leave that completely open. You leave me a message in the comments, guys. Tell me what you think. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that that's something that can actually happen on the TV show? It's pretty dank, it's pretty horrible, but at this moment in time, I'm really trying to think of a way that they could up Abe's and Glenn's death, and the only thing I can think of is killing their little baby child. So, I mean, you know, that's just maybe my warped mind, but you let me know what you think in the comment section below. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!